Jason Goodman, after almost 30 years of songwriting and musicianship and a performer, tell us, how did this all get started?
Where did it all begin? Well, from an early age, it was very important for my parents that I think both of their children play music. So I got piano lessons from an early age. My older brother, Seth, had guitar lessons when he was a kid. And I just gravitated towards it. Like, I loved playing the piano. I kept playing the piano. I had private lessons with various old ladies around the neighborhood for a few years, and just really enjoyed it. And then one day, my grandfather took me to see a chamber music concert in Berkeley, which there was a series at Julia Morgan Theater in Berkeley when I was young. And it was a bassoon concerto, and I just loved the bassoon so much that I quit the piano and wanted to be a bassoonist. But I was told I had to play a single reed instrument before I dared play a double reed instrument. So I started with the clarinet. Wasn't great at it. Moved to the saxophone because that was a little more rock and roll. Wasn't great at that either, and just soon realized that wind instruments weren't really my thing. So one day I took one of the scales from my saxophone, played it on the piano, and just felt way better. And all of a sudden it was smoother and faster and easier to play. So I decided, back to the piano I go. So I found a contemporary piano teacher and began taking piano lessons again from that point on.
Jason, you've been in a lot of bands throughout the years. How did that all start?
Well, it started, luckily my older brother was musical too, and he was in a band called Almond House with a conguera, a girl named Ricky, who was an amazing conga player. And one day her disco band, Thunder Pussy, their keyboard player quit. And they needed a keyboard player quick for, Thunder Pussy was a disco tribute band, and they needed a keyboard player, so Ricky thought, oh, Seth's brother plays piano, I'll call him. So I got a call one day, and the gig was that Friday, and I had about 4 days to learn 30 disco songs, and I pulled it off, and then I became a permanent member of Divalicious, and played the Red Devil Lounge every Friday night in San Francisco for years, and played all kinds of corporate gigs and all over the place, and through the members of Divalicious formed Molasses, which is an original band, which we made an album called Tasty Picks, and that was so members of Divalicious formed Molasses. It was a very incestual group. Everyone kept kind of transferring from everyone's bands to do original versus cover type material. After that, I took a little break, and then a friend called one day and said, I want to form an all-male Madonna tribute band and call it Mandonna. You guys in? And my first thought was yes. And then I said, I got to call Jeff, because we need a keyboard player. I called Jeff. He heard about it. He said yes. And then we got dancers, and we got choreographers, and we got music directors, and we got all kinds of stuff. And we practiced for an entire year and went out and did the Bay Area and headlined Bimbos in the Great American Music Hall and toured and played Belly Up in San Diego and were on Sirius Satellite Radio and television, and it was a wild ride. And then after Mandonna disintegrated, it was on to classic rock. I joined a band called Rock School and played classic rock all over the place for a few years. And then my kids were born, and I decided it was time to focus on family more than playing out. But the greatest thing is we have an original band called Five Ways Out that we've been playing together, I think, for 14 years, almost through the span of all of this. And that's been a great outlet, just to play original music with these guys and do it at our leisure and make an album at our leisure, and just always have a way to be creative on the side.
So you have your original music project, Five Ways Out. That's giving you your outlet for writing original music. And you have all this amazing time with your family, which I know you cherish. What now led you to the UOP program?
That's a great question. I think there reached a time in my life where, being on tour and being a rock star and that stuff, that whole goal and desire of my youth just kind of vanished away. And I was at a job at a law firm for 14 years that I just really didn't like. and it was making me ill, mentally, physically. It was turned me into a unhappy person and a stressed out person, and someone I didn't like very much. And I decided, you know what? I'm 49. If I'm going to do something else in my life, now's the time to do it. I can have another 20, 25 years doing something else. And I love music, and I wanted my days to be worth something. I wanted to help people. I wanted to make a difference in people's lives, not just help attorneys produce documents. So I quit my job, I applied to graduate school at UOP, and here I am.